Sonam, do you want to take a crack? You have a question?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Naval, for the
Great.
opportunity. I just wanted to hear from you on your personal experience. How do you think or feel about ambition, drive, and then contentment and balance? Do you feel they're mutually exclusive or could they be opposing variables? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think they are opposing variables. That's kind of common sense. If you're ambitious and driven, it's because you're unhappy about the way things are and you want to change them for yourself. So it is a struggle. That said, if you want to get to contentment, there's sort of two ways out, right? One is you can go out there and fulfill your desires, or the second is you can give up on your desires. And I think you just have to take the path that is most natural for you. I don't think you can force it. If you try to suppress your desire to, say, make money or have children or what have you, I don't think that's going to end well. So we kind of just have to learn our lessons, so to speak. So I had a tweet a while back where I said the reason to win the game is to be free of it. And like most of my tweets, it's not aimed at the audience, it's aimed at me. It's because I'm always fighting with myself. I've basically on every measure achieved more than I even set out for originally. And so I should be happy, I should be content, but yet I can't turn off that drive. It keeps running at times. So I have to remind myself, hey, the point of winning the game was so I could stop playing the game, not so I could upgrade into an even stupider game, right? At some point, you have to see through it and realize that you can squander your entire life just playing these games and miss this life that actually is going on around us. So I would say they do run counter to each other, and it's just an observation, and that observation is helpful for two reasons. One is so that you can stop playing the game when you've won, or at least realize when you're doubling down and going back into a game that maybe you don't need to be playing anymore. And the second is so you can very carefully choose which games you choose to play. Because if you play every game, if you play the envy game with everyone around you, and you want to be better looking and you want to have a better mate and you want a bigger house and you want to make more money and you want higher status and you want to be more popular, you're just going to be miserable all the time. So you kind of have to pick your most overwhelming desire, commit to that one, see it through, win that game, and let everything else go. So these are the kind of notes to myself. But this is a constant struggle. Like I go through being between being overworked to being bored, and I will snap within 1 minute between those two states. And so it's just they do run counter to each other. It's funny. Like I probably spend, I'll spend an hour a day meditating, and then I'll spend the next 2 hours on phone calls, like getting my mind all spun up. And then I'm like, boy, there goes my meditation. There goes the peace of mind that I had from it. So yes, these are struggles. If they didn't run counter to each other, then it would actually be quite easy. Now, I think there is a state that you can enter, call it a flow state, where you're doing the activity for the sheer joy of it, and you're enjoying it because it's a kind of at the edge of your capability. You're both learning and getting better at doing it, while at the same time you're putting everything into it. You're exhausting yourself into it, and you're enjoying the activity enough that you don't really care about the outcome that much. And that's when you're going to do your best work, right? These flow states, when you're the most creative. You're also going to think the most rationally. You're going to have the best judgment because you're going to be most immersed in the moment and not really obsessing about the future outcome, but rather looking at the facts at hand as dispassionately as possible. These states to me are golden. When you can put yourself into these kinds of situations, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can actually be quite calm while operating at peak effectiveness. But I won't say that these are easy states to achieve. They require a certain level of mastery in what you're doing, and they require you to keep a self-awareness as to your actions, and it also requires a complete detachment from the outcome. Um, and again, one doesn't do these things by struggling to do them. One finds oneself doing these things when one has a certain level of expertise and awareness.
I love that. Thank you so much, Naval, and thank you for bringing up the nuances that come along with this journey. That's it from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.